Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, whoa, hold on. As I start a fire in the house. Hello, you guys. How are you? It has been a while since I've been live on Facebook. So I'd give you guys a minute to connect. Let this all connect in. Give everybody a chance to come on. How are you guys doing? Put my funky weirdo glasses on for just a minute until I see you guys coming in. Woohoo! Can you guys hear me okay? Make sure, let me know if you can hear me okay. I think you can. Nobody's telling me you can't hear me yet, so you must be able to hear me. Yay! Okay, I'm so excited. I have some stuff to say. It's been a while since I've been here. So, let's cover some basics right away. Basics, you guys. There's trolls. There's always gonna be trolls. I don't give a shit no more. Excuse my language, but I don't care no more. Please know that if you're here, I don't ever come to you and ask you for money. That's not how this works. If you would like to book a private reading, then yeah, that costs money, but you go through my booking department to do that and through my website, THMedium.ca. This right here is never about me trying to solicit you for money. I'm just here because I want to help. I've been given a gift and have been, in my opinion, trained specifically by God himself to have these abilities, and I just want to be able to help people with them. I do charge money to do private readings and whatnot because I have to make a living too. I have to be able to put food on the table for my children, right? But I try to volunteer and give back at the same time. So, hello to everybody. I'm glad you're here. If you see people in the comments trolling and saying, oh, come see me for a reading, I will give you a reading, but come to my page and it costs $1. Don't do that. Don't fall for that, you guys. It's not just me they're going after. I promise you they're going after all of the tarot readers, all the spiritual mediums, things like that. Because A, they're trying to scam you. B, they're trying to make you believe that all of this kind of stuff is baloney so that you won't believe in it, and so that you will associate this type of spiritual healing and knowledge with fraud. And that's a crime. That is so sad. So use your discernment. Be smart. Don't be stupid. Be very smart. Don't give your money away to anybody who is like soliciting you for stuff, and ignore the trolls because they don't matter. What we're talking about here today matters so much more. You guys, I've been waiting for this all day. I've been so excited. I got up with a fire in my belly today, let me tell you. And I know a lot of you guys are probably confused, going, what the heck is up with this? Ask the question is the answer. What do you mean? What's going on with the lives? Where's our link? You know how many questions I got? Where's our link for the Zoom? Oh, it's been an interesting ride, you guys. But just like in my life, like in all of yours, sometimes things happen for us that are very challenging at the time, but end up being the best blessing in disguise, or as I like to call it, pearl in the bullshit that you've never even dreamed to ask for. What do I mean by this? Okay. So I have a couple things to say, and then we're gonna do this old school. We're changing up the way that you guys get your messages from Spirit again. But I think you will agree with me that this is so much better than the way it used to be, and it's going to be so much better going forward from here on out. Let me know if you guys agree. So last week on Tuesday, I did another live on Zoom like I've been doing to try to get away from the trolls who are trying to squash my page and all that kind of stuff, whatnot. So I've been doing it on Zoom, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. It's had some challenges, and I don't want to go over all of the challenges, but I will say that the two main ones that I've seen so far is that A, it's hard for people to really get up there and share their stuff if their face is on camera, and it feels a little more embarrassing and intrusive, if you will. And two, we don't want other people that we know knowing our stuff and watching and seeing their reactions to us pouring our heart out, especially if it's people we don't like. And so I got all this energy. Okay, we don't need any of that, right? So after I did this Zoom last week, my members readings and my Zoom on Tuesday were both, how do I even describe them? Excuse my language, plug your baby's ears if they're nearby, but it was a clusterfuck of chaos. That's the only way I can describe it. It was like somebody turned up the spirit volume so loud that it was like standing in a supermarket or in a concert hall and being able to hear people whisper across the room, but it sounds like they're shouting in your ears, and you have 5 billion people all around you shouting at you, and then one person here going, what is John saying? And you going, okay, let me try to ignore all these other voices while I pick out just John's voice. It was so weird and overwhelming and hard, and I was so confused because I know I'm supposed to be up here helping you guys. And it's been a journey. And I was confused. I'm like, God, what is going on? All of these challenges and all of this crap. Like, I don't know. And now you've literally almost eliminated my ability to be able to hear spirit. Not by turning the volume down, but by turning it up so loud that it is impossible for me to do my job. And he goes, well, that's kind of the point, isn't it? I know now I'm going to get into a territory where you may or may not think I'm completely crazy, and that's okay. Yes, I talk to God. I have conversations in my head with spirit all the freaking time, and if that weirds you out, move along, because this is only going to get creepier. So I have a conversation with God, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? All I hear is, ask the question is the answer. I'm like, God, what in the world does that mean? I don't understand what that means. I go into a meditation. And it was so clear to me. And this is why it had to happen the way it did. Okay, let me try to back up a little bit. I got up here a couple of years ago and I told you guys that there were some things going on in the world that were about to change the way that our world existed. Now, I've been wrong about a lot of stuff on this journey, but I've been right about a lot more. And one of the major things that I've been saying for years since I started this work is that God and the devil are very, very real. Now, how we understand these two entities of spirit, not physical, of spirit, is very distorted and manipulated based on the information that has been programmed into us. I don't know God that way. I'll tell you that right now. I know God from my own personal experience, conversations that go on in my head that get lined up with situations in the world, miraculous situations, situations with spirit, a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm going to prove that point a little bit in a few minutes here. But I digress. So I know these two forces are very real. Okay. So what God said to me is that we are in a position, a lot of you have been feeling the change going on in this world. You saw my post the other day. The change is in the air. Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Because it is so palpable that you can't not feel it. If change is supposed to happen in your world and you are not listening, that's what it's going to feel like. A freaking brick wall. That's what it felt like to me last week. Because God has been trying to help me get this message, help me understand what I need to do, but I'm not listening. I'm trying to do it my way. And he's like not having it anymore. He's making it impossible for me to keep doing it the wrong way. He's making it impossible for you guys to keep doing things the wrong way too. Some of us have been asking for stuff in our lives, places, people, things, jobs, money, whatever it is that you have been praying for, but you're not doing what you need to do to allow those things into your world. So God has to create change in our world to guide us from where we are to where we want to be to receive what we've asked for. Okay? So anyway, when I sit down and I get into meditation, he says, right now this world is being bottlenecked. There have been, in the old world, I want you to think about the old world as pre-COVID, pre-world shutdown, March 2020, all of that crap, okay? That world. In that world, go through this as quickly as I can, as articulately as I can, without getting myself banned here. In the old world, it was kind of like this. Our society is based on a pyramid structure, if you will. The top of the top is the richest of the richest, but they're also the most evil and the most corrupt of the most evil and the most corrupt. And those powers that be that control society have used fear, manipulation, and control tactics to program us so that they could control us. By us living lives of fear and all of these other things, many of us are not living the life that we are supposed to be living. Instead, our soul's purpose here has been hijacked by the spirit of fear, the devil's spirit, that other non-physical spirit that is the opposite of good, okay? Which is very real, whether you want to believe it or not. So anyways, it has hijacked our soul purpose and has us making choices and decisions based on fear and, desperation and pain. There's so many hurt people in this world right now, and hurt people, and then that's just a cycle that goes round and round and round, right? So anyway, so many of us are off course on what we were supposed to be living, on our true soul purpose right now. So we are being bottlenecked so that we can't be living in that other reality anymore, the one that is not meant for us, the one that is causing pain. Some of you are holding on to that reality so freaking tight that your knuckles are turning white and your fingers are starting to bleed. And it doesn't matter how much it hurts, you're still holding on for dear life. Like you think that if I let go of this knife that I'm going to die. But do you not understand? You're holding the blade, and the tighter that you freaking grip that blade, the more you're going to bleed and the more it's going to hurt. So God is twisting it now. You know why he's doing that? Not because he wants to hurt you more, because he wants you to let go. Let go of that which is not for you. And trust that he is going to guide you. Your loved ones, your spirit guides on the other side are going to guide you exactly where you need to go. Now, when I did this meditation, so this applies to my own life, and he always uses my own life as an example, as a teaching moment. I got used to that a long time ago. So when I go into this meditation, the answer I got, I'm like, what do you mean? Ask the question, is the answer. And he said, Tracy, I told you a while ago that some people go to university to be trained by professors to be who they want to be in this world. And some people go through life to be trained by God to be who he needs us to be in this world, to be who we came here, who we can be in this world. But that's a lot of training. And let me tell you, every challenge that you overcome is a skill that you have added to your skill bucket that enables you to do things you couldn't do before you collected that skill. Every single challenge you overcome is an opportunity to get from where you were to where you want to go. It's all the tools that you need to get there. So God said to me in my meditation that he has been spending the last 46 years, okay, I just dated myself, that's how old I am, but anyway, 46 years of my life training me on how to have this spiritual wisdom, how to overcome some of the worst traumas that you could have ever imagined, how to hear spirit and understand the messages, validations, and synchronicities that spirit, your loved ones, your spiritual team, God, your angels, all of them are sending us every single day. But so many people don't know how to understand those messages. And so I get up here and I just want you to know that your loved ones are there. I, who have grown up with my angels and my guides and my loved ones around me my entire life, just want to share that with you. That's why I do this. They have helped me overcome some of the most dramatic and horrible traumas that a person could ever go through. And all I want to do is be able to share that with you guys and let you know that they're there. That's why I pass on messages from spirit. That's why I love the beautiful validations that come through, because when they come through of things that I can't know, then you know that they are there. So God said that's not enough though. It's not enough for them just to know that they're there. So anyway, back to the analogy. He said, Tracy, I've spent, thought I would knock that off. I spent the last 46 years training you to be a doctor. Let's just say, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a doctor. Do not even think about that. I'm not a doctor, not trained in a medical way. This is an analogy only. He said, now let's just think about a doctor. Think about the best surgeon, the top doctor in the entire world. He said that doctor could go to school for 20 years. He could be the top of the top of the top of his league, the best in the entire world. Now, if people want his help, he's got all this knowledge, all this wisdom on how to fix bodies, heal people, all of this stuff, right? So now when patients come to see him, if they walk in the room and they go, okay, doc, I'm not telling you a damn thing about me. I want you to guess what the problem is. I want you to guess what the diagnosis should be. And I want you to cure me all in one visit. Go. Basically, that's what I've been trying to do with you guys. And it's not okay anymore because it's not helping. And I can't help you guys that way. Because what ends up happening is that I'm trying to guess what the problem is, and I can misunderstand the energies because I can feel the energies. I just don't know why exactly they're happening, and I don't have enough information to be able to get to right to the point to help you with whatever it is that I want to help you with. So here's the thing. What do I mean? Ask the question. So when you come to me, I need you to tell me what the problem is. Just like when you go to the doctor, you don't walk in there and say, hey, guess. You go in there and you go, doc, something's wrong with my leg. It's not working right. I got pain. It's like here and here and here. And the doctor goes, he uses all of that knowledge and all of that wisdom that has been given to him to not only figure out how to diagnose it and figure out what's the problem, but also to cure it, right? That's the whole point of telling him that stuff. So I can help you guys better if you ask the question. So what does this look like? It means if you're going through a hard situation in your life right now and you really need to know, how do I get from where I am to where I want to go? Ask the question. Ask me what you're having trouble with. 9 times out of 10, your loved ones are going to jump in and give you answers. They're going to give you validations in that of things that I can't know so that you know that they're helping you with that. They're going to give you the wisdom. When you ask those questions, when I'm channeling like this, you get the answer from spirit, not from me. They use whatever knowledge and wisdom I have in my library to use those words to put together the information and the message that you need. You have a far better chance of getting the message and the help that you need when you show me what the problem is or ask the question. Now, let's get a little bit more specific with this. So let's say that your dad passed a few months ago and you are having trouble dealing with the passing because he was in and out of your life and da-da-da-da-da. There's that scenario and it's like, I'm struggling with this. That's all I need to know. When I connect to your dad, he's going to start giving me information that will talk about that situation. He will give me validations that will validate that situation. He will give you psychic messages. Then we can get right to the point. And we skip grandma coming through going, hi, baby, I'm here too. Like you get right to the point, okay? Not that you don't want to hear from grandma, but the whole point of me being up here is to help you, help me help you. You see what I mean? And if, let's just say, there's no huge issues in your life, because so many of you are having issues right now. We all are, even myself included. You know how many times I get up here, go live, and I do a reading for somebody, and then when that reading's over, in my inbox, they're like, okay, but this is the situation. Now I need to know more about this. It's like, well, you should have asked me that when we were here, because they will answer that when I am in channel mode. I don't walk around in this mode 24 hours a day. I don't. I would go insane, you guys. I would go absolutely batshit insane. So when you message me when this is over and I'm not connected to your energy, that's like you telling me, hey, Tracy, what does my house smell like today? Well, I don't frickin' know. I'm not in your house. I can't smell that energy. Now, can I? If I'm not connected to your energy through a connection with your voice or seeing you or something like that, then how on earth am I going to be able to tell you what you smell like? You know what I mean? So you can't send me those messages in my email box because I don't know. I have to connect to your energy to know. And those are the things that your loved ones on the other side very much want to help you with. And when they can help you clear up those things, then you get righted on the path that you are supposed to be on. And when you're on the path that you're supposed to be on, you start feeling good. And when you are feeling good, you are expressing good. And when you are expressing good, you make everyone around you feel good. And when those people feel good, they express good. And then they express good, making everyone around them feel good. And this is how we make the world a better place. See what I'm saying? So, ask the question, and you will receive an answer. No more do I want you to just call me up and go, blank slate, tell me what the problem is, diagnose me and cure me, go. If you have a loved one that's on the other side and you don't really need help with anything, you just need validations to know that they're still with you, then that's what I want you to say. I want you to, when you ask the question, I want you to just say, hey, you know what? Everything's great in my life. I just need to know if my grandma's still with me. I miss her. And I just need to know if she's around. If she is, give me some validations that she's with me. Something like that. Just if that's all it is. But if you are going through some stuff, which so many of you are, and so many of you want help with that stuff, ask the question and see what Spirit has to say. Because I am channeling this information. And that is why I don't remember you when you come back and see me the next time. And I'm like, have I read for you before? And some people are insulted. You can't remember me? No, I'm sorry. Because my own consciousness kind of steps out of the way. It's there. It's hard to explain. But if you've looked at other channelers like Bashar and Abraham Hicks and things like that, that's kind of the way this works. Our consciousness steps aside. Spirit comes in, your spiritual team, my spiritual team, they work together to take all of the information in my library, which is my thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and to put that together put whatever messages that they can from that into a cohesive sentence to give you the message that you need. So let's try this again, okay? Let's get up here and help me help you, and see how this changes moving forward. Because a lot of us are in really tricky situations. And this brings me to my next point of this. Is a lot of people are going through some really difficult situations right now, trying to align ourselves and navigate ourselves from a difficult situation into something that feels better. And you're walking it alone. So many of you are walking this journey alone because the image of God, the image of your higher power, your being, your spiritual team has been poo-pooed, has been, made to seem like fraud, has been manipulated so deeply that you don't know what to believe anymore. So you're like, screw that. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the devil. I believe in me, and I'm walking this alone. That's like walking into a forest by yourself. You can walk into that forest by yourself because you don't want to trust anyone around you, or you can walk in with your team. Connecting to God is like being connected to your team all the time. You're never alone. You're never doing this alone. And everybody looks out for each other. But here's the thing. The team is never going to force you to be on that team. It's a choice. This world operates on free will, which means we get to choose. So if you ask God for help, he will help. But he can't help you if you don't seek him. That was the other answer. And the Bible even says something about that. Like I said, I don't get all my information, and me knowing God and Jesus doesn't come from the Bible. I've read a lot of the stories, not all of them, but a lot of the stories, and I take it with a grain of salt. My experience from God comes from the man that shows up in my visions, in my meditations, the synchronicities and cooperative incidences that take place every time I ask for help, and the fact that when I ask God for help, I get it. Every single time. Every time. So he wanted me to tell you today to seek him, and he will help you. And it feels kind of a little bit weird to say that because not everybody believes in Jesus, right? I didn't believe in Jesus a number of years ago because it's been so distorted, and it's like, and because everything in the Bible is so symbolic that I just thought it was, his whole thing was a symbol, not really a man or a person or a being, but a symbol of other stuff. And it's a combination of both. The way I understand it is Jesus, whether that was his real name or not, I don't even know if it's a real name. I don't think he cares. I think as long as he knows that I'm talking to him, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I think the man came here to teach us how to embody Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness, which is like unity consciousness. And over time, and through the powers that be, using this situation to their own advantage to confuse us and take control over us, they have forced those two together and called it Jesus Christ and tried to make Christ consciousness that Jesus tried to teach us about as one thing to confuse you and make you think it's all bullshit. It's not. Let me tell you about a really cool story that happened yesterday that made me cry when I came home and gave me goosebumps every time I tell the story. Like, this is going to be a story I tell for years to come. My daughter and I went to the grocery store yesterday. So I've been having this conversation with God in my head over the last week, big time, right? So my daughter and I went to the grocery store yesterday, and as we were entering there, all we went for, I needed 2 cases of iced tea, and she came for a case of Coke for her and ginger ale for her brother. And as we were walking in there, we're walking to the very back of the store where the iced tea is, and I said out loud to my daughter, and to God, I was like, Jesus, please let there be just 2 cases left for me. Please let there be 2 cases left. All I need is 2 cases. And I said that because it's often that this store completely runs out of brisk iced tea for some reason. But anyway, so I get to the back of the store, the very far aisle is where the iced tea is, the pop aisle. And there's absolutely nobody in the aisle. It's like completely dead. It's almost closing time. It's dead. So I get down to where the iced tea is, and literally there's 2 cases left. Just 2 cases. Whoops, I'm throwing stuff. And so when I saw that, I instantaneously shouted. I didn't just say it. This is the embarrassing part about being a medium. When God works through you, you don't get to say. Sometimes I'll be like, how many kids do you have? And I'll see myself hold it up. Like he answers through me before I even hear the answer, if that makes sense. Anyway, I see the 2 cases of iced tea, and I say very loudly, because I thought there was nobody there, I'm like, yes, thank you, Jesus. And I turn around, and I'm face to face with, I think, a Muslim family. And I was like, oh my God. I felt so, I don't know if embarrassed is the right word, because I'm not embarrassed to believe in Jesus, but I don't like trying to force my beliefs on other people. It's like, I don't know if these people even believe in Jesus. Do you know what I mean? And here I am, thank you, Jesus. And I turn around and somebody's right there looking at me. I'm like, oh my goodness sake. Okay, let's just get out of here. And as I'm walking away, I'm saying in my head, I'm like, God, I'm not embarrassed of you. I don't know why that just made me feel funny, telling people that maybe don't even believe in you or know you, thank you, Jesus. And then when I was thinking that, my daughter leans around to me and she goes, because I said, oh my gosh, that was embarrassing, let's just keep going. She goes, did you hear that little boy, Mom? And I'm like, what do you mean? It was a family, like I said, and she said the little boy repeated what you said. You said, thank you, Jesus. And he said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Daddy, who's Jesus? And when my daughter said that, God said in my ear, he said, exactly. If you don't know who I am, you can't seek me. But those who seek me will receive me. And he has his ways of being able to make his way into each person's heart. He doesn't care if you believe in him or not. He just reached a little boy whose family may or may not have believed in Jesus. Doesn't mean that there isn't other beings that are just as qualified as Jesus. There is many beings that have come here to impart the same consciousness, unity consciousness throughout history. He's just one of them. But here nor there, this little boy is now seeking to know Jesus. And just the act of thinking, who is this man, will bring answers. Just the act of thinking, what is the answer? That brings us full circle. Ask the question. When you ask a question, the answer comes in any situation. So when you have a problem, if you go, what's the solution? There's the solution. If you go, why is this problem still happening? You're going to see evidence of problem after problem after problem after problem. It doesn't necessarily give you the solution. 2 different scenarios. God has a way of introducing himself in people's lives. And if you will join up on the unity team where everybody is together and you can say, I don't know who Jesus is, or whatever being, higher being, teammate that you believe in, they're there. If You can connect to the one that is resonating with you. They will guide you. They will have your back. They will help you get from where you are to where you are supposed to be. Because every single one of us in this world is here for a purpose. When we are living our best life and being who we are truly meant to be, we exude goodness. And that goodness goes out and spreads throughout the world. And this world has been spreading badness and pain and heartache and so much of that stuff for so long. And then hurt people hurt people. God has spent 46 years healing me, for one. And now, here's the thing. Hurt people, but healed people heal people. And that is what I'm here to do. That is what gives me my joy. That is what makes me feel purpose in my work. That is what I want to do. I don't want to get up here and try to guess your stuff. I don't want to have to guess everything. I just want to help you. That's it. Help me help you. No. Help me help God help you. See what I'm saying? So, how does this work from now on? The Zoom is too complicated. People are having trouble with it, and I could list the reasons why I don't think this is working for me. It's great for members. It's very private for memberships, but it's not working for me in this avenue. So I'm ignoring the trolls. When I go through the comment section, I will delete them. I'm trusting you guys that you're not stupid. And that after everything that has gone on with all of the tarot readers out there that are experiencing this, not just tarot readers, psychics, mediums, intuitive, all of the people working in this type of spiritual field have been experiencing this, and I'm sure you guys have been seeing it everywhere. You're not stupid. You know how to protect yourself, and I'm just going to go with that and ignore their bullshit because I don't have time for it anymore. I have time to get up here and help you. That's it. That's all I want to do. So the way this works from now on is we're kind of going back to a bit old school because it's important that you guys have some anonymity here because I want to be able to help you with some hard shit. And that if you don't want to get up here and put your whole face and everything on camera so that your whole family knows and all your enemies know what you're going through, then I get that. But I can't help you if I don't know the truth. So we're going to have the phone again. But do not call me because you are not going to get through that way. The way that this is going to work is that I want you to ask me your questions. Go onto my Facebook page, which you're probably on if you're watching this, and go to the messenger. Message me your question. Message me, how can I help you? When you come to me, think of this as my doctor's office, okay? When you come and you sit down in front of me, my question to you is, how can I help you? How can I help you? Tell me how I can help you. You want to connect to your mom? You need to know that she made the transition okay? Tell me that. You have issues around how do I deal with the will? What does she want from me? How do I deal with this? Tell me that. You are struggling to make the transition from one job to the next, or something major just happened in your world and you need your spiritual team to figure out how to clean it up? Tell me that, because they're going to be able to help you with that so much better than me trying to guess everything. Does that make sense? All right. That being said, my friends, let's jump in. I'm going to take a look at my messenger, and I want you guys to start typing your questions. Type me the question. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to pick the questions that I feel like Spirit wants me to answer this day and this time. That's how this is going to work. What do you guys think? I also want to know what your comments are on how we're going to do this from now on. And I would even be fine if you save those comments until it's over so that you can see how this works anymore. Or this works now going forward. But we just made this transition in my members earlier today, and I'm telling you, the satisfaction that came from those messages for me was heightened by like 10 billion%. And every single readings that I do in my private readings and my practice and stuff, the ones that are the most delicious for me, that satisfy me the most and give me the most purpose in my life, are the ones where I truly feel like I've helped you. So let's do it. Ready? Let's do this. Okay. That took me 30 minutes to describe. Sorry about that, but that's okay. Because I think it was needed to be said. Yay. Oh my goodness. So lots of people have questions. So just bear with me here for a minute. I am just going to, how do I get in on Zoom? No Zoom, honey, no Zoom. How much is a private meeting over the phone? Do you offer half hour? Nope, don't offer half hour because Spirit takes their time on what they're saying. And I don't like to be rushed. It's not a time thing. It's $225 and that's for 60 to 90 minutes. Anyway, next one. Oh, I like this one. Well, it's interesting. Do I have a hormonal imbalance or underlying condition I'm not getting answers to? So I'm glad you asked this question, honey. I'm not going to say your name out loud, but I am going to answer this in a specific way and saying you have to be careful about asking me health questions because I can be legally liable for this. You have to give me something that I can help you with. I can't diagnose health questions. When you just asking that, do I have a hormonal imbalance? My guess is probably yes. Most of us do. The foods that we've been eating and the atmosphere we live in and just everything that's going on right now have our hormones completely out of whack. So if you think you're hormonally imbalanced, go with it. Research it, look into it, and if you are, God is going to send you the things that will resonate with you. For example, when I started thinking that, or when I went to get help with my eyes, and the doctor said, well, we got to figure out why you're getting these lesions in your eyes. And he started to suggest all this medical procedure stuff. I said, okay, Spirit, show me the answer. And Spirit showed me that it is vitamin imbalance, and I need vitamin E and zinc, and that my eyes would get better. And guess what? They did. So ask that. I think you're right, that if you think it's hormones, you're probably right. But I can't diagnose that with you. What I can tell you to do is to ask Spirit to help you with that and show you what the right answer is at that. And you'll get what you need to do to fix that problem. Make sense? Okay. Angela, I'm coming to you. I'm definitely coming to you because I want you to, so I'm going to text, this is how this is going to work. When you message me your question, I'm going to send you my phone number if I'm going to read for you. Now, Angela, I have read for you a few times, or a couple of times in the last couple of months, so I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this, but I'm going to you for a reason. Because this, honestly, you, my dear, are one of the people that has inspired this change, because I can feel your pain. You came to me a couple of lives ago and you're like, I need your help with this. And I was like, I can't. I just read for you. I got to be fair. Got to move on to other people. And I don't feel good about that. And every time I see your name, I don't feel good about that because I feel like Spirit wants to be able to help you. But I can't help you if you don't ask a question. So you ask the question. We're going to take this very simple or very quick. Let's get right to it, okay? So I'm going to give you my phone number, and then I want you to phone me. And we're going to start with you. Okay? Start with you. And this is going to make me feel better because I hate turning people away, especially if I feel like I can help them. That's the hardest part for me. All right. Just got to give it a second because there's a bit of a lag on this, how this, when I say stuff and when you guys get the message. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Hello, is this Angela?
Yes.
Hi, honey, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Okay, so struggling to have another baby.
Yeah.
You have 3 already or 4?
3.
That's what I thought. Okay. So, but is there a miscarriage in here?
Yeah.
So this is protection, you understand, right? Your dad is on the other side, correct? Because the father figure steps forward right now and immediately says, this is protection, not punishment. This is protection, not punishment. So I saw a lot of people going through this over the last couple of years. I can't get into detail because I'm live in a public forum, but the miscarriage rate and the stillborn rate went up by 800%. I wonder what could have caused those things. I'm not going to even guess, but you know where I'm going with this. Now, there's a few reasons why this is happening. Even if, okay, no, let me, see, I'm trying so hard to choose my words very carefully here so I don't get myself banned. Sometimes it's not the right time for a soul to be born quite yet, because if they were born right now, then you would be in a situation like having a baby right now is not the same as when I had a baby 12 years ago. So for example, my niece just had one and they're putting fentanyl in the epidurals now. Fentanyl. Do you even know what fentanyl is?
Yeah.
So really, let me just say there is some really crazy things going on in the world right now. And so maybe it's not the safest time for your baby to be born yet. Maybe it is not, maybe your baby doesn't want to be an Aries, or maybe your baby doesn't want to be a Sagittarius. Maybe your baby didn't want to be a boy and that body had a penis. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
If you get bogged down by this and you start thinking, oh my God, I'm having trouble having a baby. What's going on with this? What is going on? I lost the baby. And you start chewing on that scenario, the universe takes that information and goes, order up. You get what you speak. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not punishment. What if that soul stayed in that body? And what if that body was not able to sustain that soul? What if that soul was meant to be born into a healthy, able body so it could have this certain life? But that body that was created in your womb was not going to be able to sustain that kind of life. What if it said, you know what? Thank you, Mom, but I'm not ready to be born in that body. I want another body instead, so I can have the life that I'm supposed to live. Would you be devastated by that, or would you be patient and say, no problem, sweetheart, I'm here when you're ready?
I would be patient with it.
Then get into that energy, because you get what you seek. And I see, that's why I said, do you have 3 or 4 kids yet? Because I see the 4th kid. I see that child there. But that child is going to be blocked by your free will. You get what you speak about. You get what you think about. You get what you feel about. That is energy in motion. Energy goes out and pulls back to you everything that matches that vibration. So when you go through a challenge like that, it's really important that you say, this was painful, help me heal, help me see this from the perspective that lets me know that this is happening for me, not to me, and get me focused forward so that this child can come. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This child's coming in. This is a lesson that is going to help you change your vibration a little bit so it can come in a much better, clearer body than it did before. Make sense?
Yep.
So don't cry about it. Just know. Just get excited and don't worry about what date and what time it comes. Just know that this baby is coming, and it comes faster when you get happy and you get excited and you give gratitude. I'm not saying thank you God for my miscarriage. I'm saying thank you, soul, for coming to me even for a little while. I love you so much that I will respect your free will, that you didn't want to be born yet, and I will be here when you're ready to be born, because I love you unconditionally, no matter what choice you make. That's
why I haven't gotten rid of my baby stuff, because I got some baby stuff like a few months back, and I was like, well, okay. And then when I had the miscarriage, I was like, well, I'm not going to get rid of it because I plan on having another one.
Exactly.
And I was like, I'm going to keep it because I know we'll have another one. It just wasn't the right timing for it.
So then there's nothing to fear, right? You got this.
Okay.
You're good. You got this. That baby is okay. Just so you know, I feel like it's a boy. Are you trying for a boy?
I basically said I don't care what it is as long as it's healthy. That's what I said.
Well, the reason why I say that is because your dad just kissed your cheek, not kicked it. Kissed your cheek and said, make sure this one gets named after me, hey?
Okay.
Aw, because he is sending him back to you.
Okay.
He loves you
Thank
very
you
much,
so
sweetie.
much.
I hope that was helpful.
It was.
So much better, right?
Yes, it was so much better now.
Awesome. All right. Have a great rest of your day, sweetie.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
See? I love this. Isn't this better? Okay, let's do the next one. Who is next? Okay. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Would be beyond grateful for a message today. That's like coming into the office of the doctor's appointment and saying, okay, doc, tell me, diagnose me, prescribe me, and cure me. I can't help you. That's not enough information. What do you need to know? Who do you need to know it from? What do you need from me? Ask the question and I will help you. No, I'm not beating up on you with that answer. I'm using it as an example. Please don't be mad at me. And I don't mean anything bad by it. I'm saying ask the question so I can help you. Ask the question so I can help you. Okay, hold on. Some of them, you guys, I'm just going to read out here because I can answer it quickly and give you the answer you need. I don't even have to connect sometimes. Ooh, I love this one. I have some big decisions in my life right now. Does my family belong in Tucson? Are my kids meant to homeschool or go to school? What's better for us as a family? Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do on any of those decisions, but I'm going to tell you how to access them so they can help you get from where you are to all of those answers. So, I'm going to give you my phone number. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. What is this lady's name? Kara. Ooh, I can't wait. You have a strong mother figure coming in around you already. I haven't even connected to your energy, but I can feel hers, I'll tell you that. Spirit's really interesting. Okay, hold on. Hello, is this Kara?
Yes.
Hi, Kara. How are you?
Excited.
Oh.
Good. How are you?
Good. That is awesome. You're excited. Okay, so I don't know if you heard what I said right before you called me. There's a strong mother figure coming in around you. Feels like a grandmother, or it doesn't feel like a mother. It feels like a grandmother or a great grandmother. But feels like she's the one taking the charge on helping you with this answer. Do you understand that?
Yeah, one of my grandmothers has passed away, but she passed away when I was about 16.
Mm-hmm. They don't care. They're like, I don't care. What, you need help guiding you from where you are to where you want to go? I'm the one. I'm on your team. This is what I mean. They're your spiritual team, right? Okay. So hold on. Let me just look at this again. So when you asked me this, I love this. I'll tell you why I love this question. Because you asked me like 4 questions in this one little paragraph, right? And no, don't be sorry, because the reason why you asked all 4 is because they all are on the same frequency. If you think about how does each question feel, they all feel the very same, don't they? They feel uncertain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have been waiting in an energy of uncertainty, which leaves you feeling like where you are is not where you want to be in so many different areas. And so what happens is that when you so I say this to people all the time, you can have 99 things going right in your world and only one thing going wrong. And if you put all your attention and focus on that one thing going wrong, then everything else in your world will start shifting to match that wrong vibration. And so that's what I see when you send me a question like that. I see compound chaos. I see compound disalignment. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now the beauty of that is that you can flip that too. So you can have 99 things going wrong in your world and only one thing going right, and everything else will change to match that vibration. So let's start with the biggest thing. Now, when you say, does my family belong in Tucson? Oh, I put the phone away over there because I'm channeling. When you say, does my family belong in Tucson, I see a carrot dangling you somewhere else. Why do I see it that way? What do you mean by that question?
Well, my family is waiting. So I'm a U.S. citizen, but my family, my 2 children and my husband are not. and so we are waiting for a green card.
Ooh. Okay.
And so a lot of the situation, we have a lot of choices, and our decisions will determine, whether we live full time in Tucson or
Perfect. Okay, so I love, this is why I asked for clarity, because you are waiting for that green card, you feel like you can't move forward until you have that certainty. And so everything else in your life is changing to match that vibration of waiting and uncertainty. See that?
Yeah.
So how do you fix that? Do you want to know how you fix that?
Tell me.
Okay, let me just read here. You find one of these other areas, one of these other questions that are in the same vibration, one that you can control, and you fix that one. And you put all your focus and energy on that one thing that you can fix. And the minute that you fix that one thing, your green card will come in. Because once you fix something and you lock yourself into the frequency of certainty, everything else in your world will switch and change to match that vibration. So let me see if I'm reading this right. Does my family belong in Tucson? We can't know yet because the green card hasn't come in yet. Are my kids meant to be homeschooled? Well, I don't know that yet because I can't make that decision unless I have all these other answers. Do you see what I'm saying? So the reason why you can't make a choice or a decision, honey, is because you're trying to look too far down the road. Okay. What I mean by this is, so if you're in Calgary, I don't know where you are in the world. Do you know anything about the Alberta or anything?
Yeah, we live half in Alberta, half in Tucson.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you are in Calgary and you want to go to Edmonton, let's say, then you have to figure out, how do I get from where I am to where I want to go? So you know basically the roads, right? You know, okay, well, I get on this road, that'll take me somewhat there. But you have a GPS, and I don't know if you've heard me give the GPS analogy before, but this totally fits in. So if you normally have or when you are trying to navigate somewhere that you've never been before, you just put the address into your GPS and it guides you the whole way, right? You don't worry about if there's a dead end coming up. You don't worry about if the road's closed up ahead or if there's a detour, because if there is, your GPS is going to route you around that, right? So what you're doing right now is you're saying, I want to go to Edmonton so bad, but I can't tell if there's a pothole up there. I don't know if there's any road detours, so I refuse to make that decision. Because if I try to make that decision and there's a detour, I don't know how that's going to go. So I'm just going to sit right here until somebody brings me the full clarity of the entire path before I make a step in the right direction. So what I'm saying by this is that your heart knows what's right to do. When you say, okay, let me back this up a little bit more. When you say, should I homeschool? That answer is very clear. That's like, duh, yes. Because if you shouldn't homeschool, then you wouldn't be thinking about that. You thinking about homeschooling tells me that you're not happy with the schooling situation. And if you're not happy with the schooling situation, there's another option available to you. That option is coming in as like homeschooling. You have that thought here, that spirit. Spirit speaks through thought. It speaks through heart. But you can't figure out the whole road to go in homeschooling. You're like, oh, that's scary, but what if A, B, and C happens? I don't know how I'd manage that. You're not there yet. You're just here. And the next step of homeschooling feels better than dealing with the bullshit you've been dealing with, yeah? So if you take that next step, I don't know if you can see me or not, and when you get off, go back and look for this, because it's hard to explain when you can't see me. But what that's like is being down at a low vibration. From this low platform, let's say, you can only see what's right around you. But when you take a step in the direction you want to go, you elevate yourself to a higher platform. And from that higher platform, you've got a much broader perspective of the situation. And from that step, you can see the step that is to take place after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The second that you start making your choices and decisions and stop putting them off, then your green card's going to come in because your family is all here.
We're all together, but yeah, they're Canadian. Yeah.
You will get here. They will guide you right here, but they can't go against your free will. And your free will, see, the universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your actions and your energy. Your actions say we're waiting. Your energy says we're waiting. So the universe gives you more. Help me out here, Kara. If your actions say you're waiting and your words say you're waiting, what is the universe going to give you more of?
We're waiting.
There you go. That's okay. So what in your world can you make a choice on that's going to bring some certainty?
Well, probably school. Homeschool, at least.
The second that you start making those choices, everything good comes in to play for you. That's what's holding you back, is you are operating in a frequency of uncertainty. And let me tell you, these grandmas of yours are a force to be reckoned with. At least one of them is a force to be reckoned with. And she is like, girl, I want so hard to help you guys out, but I can't go against your free will. Ask the question. And that goes for you and everybody else listening. Ask the question. You've been worried about what should I do or what shouldn't I do, and that's not the right question. The question is, what is the solution to the problem I'm having right now? What is the solution that will take me from where I am right now to where I want to go? And when you ask that question, you get the answer, which is, if we look at just the school thing, what is the solution to all this bullshit? Homeschooling. Oh, okay, homeschooling is the answer, but then what do I do about A, B, C, and D? Well, you won't know the answer to that until you embark on that journey. Once you take that journey, those answers come to you like that. And not only do those answers come to you, you feel better. And the second that you feel better, everything that's been held back from the waiting comes flowing into your reality. Your mom's mom is on the other side?
No, my dad's mom.
Okay. There's a mother figure around your mom's mom that comes forward, puts the white blanket around mom's shoulders, and says that it's going to be okay. Why? So the white blanket is my symbol for watching over somebody that has health or stress issues.
Okay.
Is your mom under a lot of stress right now?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think this is your grandma's...
Even if she doesn't.
What?
Oh, just even if she doesn't tell me everything, I think so.
I think this is... So this would be her grandma? No. Yeah, her grandma. So this would be your great-grandmother. If her mother is still here, this would be her grandmother, because they are validating for me this is a direct connection to your mom. And then I see this. So she was probably pretty close with her grandma. So grandma just said that you helping you be happy and feeling good and certain and excited about your future is going to help your mom as well. Her seeing the stress and uncertainty in your life adds to the stress and uncertainty in her life. So you helping yourself and focusing on just getting happier and more certain in your life helps the people around you and will help your mom dramatically. She put the heart around all of you, which is my symbol for reconnection. And she's like, just know that it's happening. Quit worrying about when and just let it happen when it's supposed to happen. And give thanks to God, knowing that it's going to happen at the exact right moment, at the exact right time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And I think once you embark on that journey, and I think you're right, it does start with the kids' school, doesn't it? It's like homeschooling them gives you the flexibility so that no matter when that green card comes in, you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many reasons why this works better for your family. And the only reason you haven't done it yet is because of fear. Because you can't see the whole road yet.
Yeah. Big time.
They got your back, honey. Do it. You got this. You're stronger. You're more powerful than you think you are. You have more help than you think you are. And all of the good things that you have been planning up here are going to be pouring into your reality. You just have to beat the last boss guy at the end of this level. That's fear. Punch him in the nose and say, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
All right, I will.
And keep talking to them, because I'm telling you, your grandma's like, don't underestimate me. She's like, I can help you. We're good.
Aw.
She's really proud of you. You're a mama, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You got 2
I
kids?
have 2 kids. Yeah.
See, I already held up the 2 fingers before you said that. Everyone watching is like seeing that. So she's watching you be a good mama. And I think as long as you remember that you are a good mama, and so when you know that, then love always makes the right choice, right? Your heart, moms, we know what we need to do. Don't be afraid. You have the right intuition to know what you need to do, and you have a huge loving team that is going to guide you from where you are to where you need to go, so you don't have to worry about if there's a pothole. If there is, they're going to give you the detour, and you don't have to worry about it. Fair enough?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I hope
Thank you. I feel like I'm going to cry a little bit. But
Oh,
thank
well,
you.
good. I'm glad. I hope that helps, and this makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be able to get from where you are to where you want to go so quickly, it's not even funny.
Oh, thank you so much. I so appreciate it.
You're welcome, hon. You have an awesome rest of your day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye.
Awesome. Okay. See? Now this makes me feel juiced up. Now we can get to how to help people. Actually help them do great things in this world. Are my loved ones on the other side helping me get housing soon? Oh, Caitlin, my friend, you know they are. You, my dear, is a matter of timing. It is happening at exactly the right moment, at exactly the right time. You know this. Trust your process. Trust it. Is my dad helping me from the other side to find a wonderful girlfriend? Aww. Let me talk about this for a minute. Shauna, I can help you answer this, and I can help everybody else with this same question. Your loved ones will absolutely help you find, I like the way you worded that, a wonderful girlfriend. Let's change it to partner. Let's just say partner so that it goes for everybody. They will absolutely, they love nothing more than to help you find a wonderful partner. But what you just said to me is, if that's what you're saying to them, you're going to hear crickets. You're not going to get an answer from them. They can't bring you a wonderful girlfriend. They can't do that. Do you want to know why? Because that's not specific enough. That's like saying to your GPS in your maps in your phone, I want you to put into your maps and say, bring me a wonderful dinner. And see if your GPS in your maps is going to pick a restaurant, give you directions on how to get there, and direct you there. You think that's what's going to happen if you put that in your GPS? Wrong. If you put into your GPS, provide me a wonderful dinner, your GPS is going to shoot you a whole bunch of suggestions. Well, you could get that at this restaurant, and this restaurant, and this restaurant, or do you want a convenience store, or do you want a supermarket, and it will just load up your feed with suggestions. You have to be specific. If you want them to help you find a relationship in your world, then you have to tell them what you are looking for. You have to give them the parameters to bring it into your world. They are not allowed to choose for us. They are the spiritual alignment team that if you are connected to yourself and to spirit, that will guide you exactly where you need to go. But you have to be able to navigate. You have to be able to put in the directions of what you want. And I get this question from so many people when you ask them, what do you want? And they go, I want to be happy. Okay, go into a restaurant and order and tell when the waitress comes around and she says, what do you want? Say, I want a delicious dinner. She's going to be like, that's nice. Okay. Well, I'll be back when you tell me what you want. You're going to be sitting at that table for a long time. You're going to get really grumpy. Where is my wonderful dinner? I want a wonderful dinner. Everybody else is eating wonderful dinners. Where the frick is mine? What do you expect her to choose for you? To pick something off the menu? Because if she does, she's going to bring you her favorite. And it might be seafood, and you might hate seafood, like I hate seafood. And she might bring you shrimp, which, like my grandma called them sea bugs. We don't eat sea bugs. And so you might be like, that's horrible. I don't want that. And so when the waitress comes back, you're like, I don't want seafood. I don't want this, and I don't want that. Bring me a wonderful meal. What is wonderful? What is wonderful to you? And if you don't know what you want, how are you going to recognize it when it shows up? When you ask me a question, like, is somebody helping me to bring me a wonderful girlfriend, then that tells me that you probably haven't defined what wonderful means yet. Because your loved ones are always helping. They love to help. Because when they help and help shows up, then there is no denying that it came from them. And that you were heard. And that you feel their loving presence in that moment. I want to show you an example of what I mean. So I asked God this morning, in my meditation this morning, when I said, okay, I'm getting up here to do the ask the question, is the answer broadcast, God? Tell me if I'm on the right track. If I am on the right track, send me a sign so big that I can't miss it. A sign that lets me know that I'm heading in the right direction. So what does he do? He literally sent me a freaking sign. What do I mean by this? So I was on the phone with Chloe. A lot of you guys who are watching right now follow Chloe. She's this beautiful young lady that I kind of counsel on the side. But anyway, we are talking, and she's kind of going through a little bit of an issue. See, as I connect to her soul, her loved one on the other side, that past with some disfiguration is all up in my face, so making me itchy. Back up, buddy. Anyway, as we're talking and I'm helping her, and I had just finished telling her, don't worry about the past, honey. Focus yourself forward. We're moving forward. We're focusing forward. And then she literally screams, and she's like, shut up, right when you say that. And I'm always saying that to her. She's like, Tracy, I just literally drove past a sign that just said, focus forward. And I was like, no way. She's like, yeah. And she sent me the picture. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to try to make it bigger. She said, I'm going to drive back around the block so I can take a picture of this and show you. God literally said it to her. Focus forward. Focus forward. I ain't looking back no more. We're focusing forward. So the answer to your question, focus forward, dear. Tell your dad what you want. Think about this. What kind of person do I want in my world? It's not enough to know what you don't want. And if you're watching this right now and you're tired of the bullshit in your life or the relationships or the job or anything, and you've been saying, if I say to you right now, what do you want? And the only thing you know how to answer is, I don't want to be in pain, I don't want this, and I don't want that. If that's your answers, that's like trying to drive your car looking through the rear view mirror. You're just going to go in circles. You're just going to keep going in circles, and you're going to crash, and it's going to be painful, and you're never going to be able to focus forward. Focus on what you want. Tell your dad, I want somebody who's kind and loving and beautiful and loves me unconditionally. Somebody who thinks that my little quirks are the most beautiful thing in the entire world. Somebody that I can communicate with and that is going to make me feel safe and secured and allow me to be the best version of me in this world. God, that's who I'm looking for. Daddy, that's who I'm looking for. And when you send her to my way, make sure you send me a sign so that I know that this is somebody you sent my way. Now, when you place your order like that, you wake up every morning looking for signs. You wake up every morning excited to see what shows up in your newsfeed algorithm of life. Gets exciting. And that is when the person that you are waiting for comes into your world. You've got to order them from the universe of life, connect to your spiritual team and allow them to guide you towards it. But that also means that if you're dating somebody, if you're praying for this, and let's say you had your eye on somebody and you thought they were the one, and then after you say this prayer of this is who I want in my world, bring me this person, and then that person betrays you, that was happening for you. That was God allowing you to see their true colors so that you could remove them and allow who you need to come in, come in. I want you guys to remember one other thing about people and situations being removed from your life, because a lot of us, like I said, are going through bottleneck moments right now. And that means that some things are being dramatically removed from our life in big, harsh, almost insensitive ways. The universe doesn't care about our feelings anymore. It's like, nope, you're not supposed to be here anymore. You're out of there. And it's like, whoop, aligning you right over here. And that is because it's making room to give you what you've asked for. God never removes one situation until another one is ready. And you've all heard the saying, when one door closes, another one opens, but I don't think we really understand what that means. So God gave me another analogy to help you understand what that means. And it goes like this. We're all born with two sets of teeth. We have our baby teeth and then we have our big teeth. And we're born with both sets of them. If you don't believe me, Google it. Google what a baby's teeth looks like, x-ray of a baby's mouth. You'll see it's really gross and alien looking, but here nor there. When do your baby teeth fall out? They don't fall out until the other one is coming up, until our grown-up teeth are ready. So if something is being pushed out of your world, and it's not always easy. Sometimes it's really painful when that tooth is coming out. And you know how when you got that tooth just hanging on by a little thread and it almost hurts so much freaking more to have it hanging on by that thread? Rip that sucker out. Just get it over with. And the second that tooth's out, it stops hurting, right? And then it heals. And then that bigger tooth comes right through. Thank goodness. That's what's going on. Okay. Am I right? Are you guys loving this? I'm loving this so much more than I did before. So I'm going to get to another question here. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, I need tools to navigate my parents' addiction. I've always been there and I'm starting to fall apart and I want to move on without regrets. I'm not even going to say your name. I don't have to connect to your energy. I've read for you enough. I can feel your energy. And this is personal enough that I don't want to use the name so I can talk as candidly as I need to talk. Because you're not the only person going through this. And this is exactly what I was saying in the beginning when I said that God and the devil are very real entities. They are spirits. And this is one of these situations that the entity of evil has been using to cause fear and harm and pain and ripples and cycles of domestic violence, of hurt, of addiction, of pain through generational curses down the line for years and years and years. And this is what God is breaking right now. But you don't help somebody fix their addiction by catering to their needs in the addiction. You're not helping them that way. Now, what I mean by this is it's a fine line between enabling and between I don't feel enabling behavior from you. Do not get me wrong. I've got spirit coming in as I'm saying this. You have a grandfather figure. The gentleman figure is like, I'm stepping back for this, and the grandfather figure comes through, and I think it's your dad's dad. But anyway, here nor there. So when you have people that are residing in extremely toxic behavior, they are hurting themselves. And when they hurt themselves, they have more challenges than the average person goes through. They have health issues, they have legal issues, they have financial issues, they have all these other issues. And then they turn to us and they say, well, if you love me, you'll help me with my stuff. Otherwise, you don't love me. But those issues are only as a result of their actions. So I want to tell you a little story about, so when I was learning boundaries, boundaries helped me so much in my life. Boundaries are what keep you safe, okay? So when I was learning boundaries, this shelter that I was in, a women's shelter, played this tape for me. And there was these two pastors. And I think one of them was Townsend. He must be dead because he's like, "That's me, Dr. Townsend." Interesting. I couldn't even tell you his name before, but I'm channeling, so that's interesting. I'll look that up when we're done. I think it was. Anyway, these two doctors, I digress, these two psychologists, they were telling this story about how this family came to see them one day. And the family wanted to know how to help their son. These two parents, they're like, "Our son has some huge issues. He's got legal issues. He's got financial issues. He dropped out of school. He's doing drugs. He's all over the place. And no matter what we do to try to get through to him, we can't help him. Nothing we have done, we have scolded him, we have yelled at him, we have tried to stay away from him, but then he calls us back in when he's in jail. And we don't know how to help him. How do we help him?" And the pastor said he looked past them and he looked all around the room and he's like, "Well, I see you and I see your husband, but where's your son?" And they said, "Oh, he's skiing. That's what we're saying. We can't even get him to take this seriously. No matter what we do, we can't get through to him." And those pastors look to those parents in the eye and they say, "Well, I have to tell you, I agree." Well, first they said, "Well, why is he not thinking, if there's all these issues, why isn't he doing anything about it? How is he skiing?" And they said, "Well, he doesn't think he has any issues. He's got these issues. And they start naming all the issues again. And so the pastor said, "Well, I hate to break it to you, but I agree with him. He doesn't have any issues. He's got no problems. Although he's out skiing right now. He's living his best life. You got problems. You got legal issues. You got financial issues. You got blah, 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 blah. All those issues. That's you that's taking on all these issues. He's not dealing with the consequences of those issues. He's freaking skiing." When people are making choices and decisions that are hurting themselves, they become hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Not because they're bad people, but because they're hurt people. They don't have to hurt people. I saw this quote the other day. Hurt people don't have to hurt people. No, but it's really hard to be happy when you're in pain. Think about it when you have the worst migraine of your life and your kids come in. They just scored the biggest goal of their life that their dad had to take them to because you couldn't go because you're in so much freaking pain. And your kid comes running into the room and flicks on the light and is like, "Mom!" And they scream at you and they're so excited. Are you going to be like, "Yay!" Or are you going to be like, "Turn off the light!" Ah! You're going to freak out. Not because you want to hurt your kid, not because you don't care about the kid, but because hurt people hurt people. Every single time. So if you can recognize somebody that's hurting themselves and you think there's something that you can do to help them and they're willing to accept that help, by all means, step forward, help them, do what you can to help them get from where they are to where they want to go. Abso-friggin-lutely. But if you see people that are hurting themselves over and over and over again and then guilting you for not wanting to be there, either watch them hurt themselves or help them clean up the messes that they're making, that's not your problem. And if you keep fixing their problems or forcing yourself to hurt yourself, to be in that hurt energy, to be around them, then you're not being the best version of you. And if you're not the best version of you, you're not going to be happy out there. And if you're not happy and putting happiness and joy and connection out there, then you're not going to spread that to the people around you. And then you see where I'm going with this, right? So my suggestion in situations like this is to always be available to help if somebody wants the help. But if you see that they're not willing to do what they need to do to help themselves, then it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility, and I don't care who it is, parents, children, whoever, I don't care. It is not your responsibility to hurt yourself to try to fix them, because I promise you, you can't hurt yourself enough that will ever inspire them to get better. Ever. However, you can love from a distance, and you can wait for the day that they say, I'm ready to get better. I need your help now. You wait for those words. But until then, you do what I call loving from a distance. You recognize that the people that you love so much are not bad people, but they are dangerous because they have the ability to inflict pain. And even if it's not inflicting pain on you, inflicting pain on them is going to hurt you. So I look at these kinds of situations like a tiger at the zoo. I love tigers, or lions. They're beautiful, majestic animals. I love them so much that sometimes I go to the zoo so that I can see them. But I don't go to the zoo and climb in the cage with them, because that would be really stupid. They're wild animals. They would eat me in 2 seconds. Addicts are very much like wild animals. They're not in their consciousness making choices and decisions based on sanity and happiness and joy and contentment and stability. They're making survival decisions, and they hurt people sometimes. So that's why you don't get in the cage with them. You still love them. You never stop loving them. But you don't put yourself in positions to be hurt by them. I come from a very, what is the word I'm trying to use here? Colorful family. Let's just say that I deal with a lot of my family members have the same issues. A lot of my family members are very hurt. We come from the worst of the worst kind of abuse that there is on both factions. There's the two of the worst evils in this world come through the religious sector, through like the Catholic Church, not just the Catholic, a lot of the religions, and also through military. These are the two branches that have been used to condition our souls and to break us down as people. And my family has both of them. My mom's is the military side, my dad's is all the religious stuff. So that abuse is all there. So I don't stop loving those family members. I understand that they're doing the best they can with what they have. But I don't invite them over for family vacation or for family events all the time. I don't put myself out there going to their house and asking for their help, or I don't depend on them when I know there's a good chance that they could let me down anyway. What I do is I send them flowers on their birthday with a note that says that even though I can't be in your life right now, I love you more than anything in the world, and I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. I believe in you, and when you are ready to get better, I am your biggest cheerleader in life. And then you do you. You do you, girl. Because when you heal you, you become a healed person, and healed people heal people. Your parents, if they're addicts, they're wading in what I call shit river, which feels like shit, smells like shit, tastes like shit. It's just shit all around. But everybody that's in shit river has never seen anything but shit river. They've heard rumors of this beautiful sunny land that's clean and dry and wonderful with butterflies, but they don't believe it because they've been stuck down in here for shit river for so long that they don't believe that that reality is possible for them. So what happens is that when you take yourself, who is also residing in Shit River at some point, and you pull yourself out, if you're both in Shit River and you say, listen, you can get better, you get out of Shit River, climb up that hill, go up there, there's a shower over there, it'll clean you off, go. I will get out of Shit River after you do. I can't leave you behind. I'm not leaving you behind. I'm not climbing myself out of here until you do it first. They're never going to move. They're going to give you the bird and tell you that, I don't believe that's even possible. Not happening. You do it. You do it. You climb out of Shit River. You focus all of your energy and focus on being the best version of you. And then what happens is you climb out of Shit River and you're standing up on that hill. You're beautiful. You're glowing. You're all cleaned off. You look like happiness and joy and ease and abundance and blessings and fun and love and support and all of those good things. They see you standing up there like you got this flag waving and they're like, how did you do that? How did you get from where I was to where you are? Now that you're up there, you're a beacon of what is possible for them. But they're never going to get themselves out of shit river until they see you do it first. Once you're up there and they see that it's possible, well, now they'll be like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And then they embark on the way. That's how you handle that situation. And you pray for them the entire step of the way. And I can't tell you that that means that they're going to heal. I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that that means that you'll ever be in their life again in a healthy way before they pass. My dad was an addict. He was a very hardcore gambling addict. And 2 years before he died, he walked out of, he was living with me and I was kind of helping take care of him. And 2 years before he died, he walked out of my house with my rent money a week before rent was due. He left every gift my kids had ever given him smashed in a pile on the floor. He was mad at me because I didn't have milk that week. I was struggling. I was working, but I'm a single mom. You get it, right? So some days you have milk, some days you don't. And for whatever reason, because he's a gambler, that was your responsibility to provide the groceries, you bitch, blah, blah, blah. That's how hurt people hurt people. Addicted people are hurt people. They're seeking that dopamine fix from whatever their addiction to is. Anyway, so his decision was to do this. My dad died before he ever apologized to me. That is a reality that can happen. But the thing about that is, because he died 2 years later, and I'm grateful for this situation, and I'll tell you why. Because even though he was out of my life for that last 2 years, that was 2 years worth of more painful treatment that I did not receive. And I had allowed myself to have 2 years of space out of that painful treatment, so that when he did die, the only thing worse than trying to deal with that kind of relationship with one of your loved ones that you love so much, especially a parent figure. We don't stop loving them just because they're addicts and they do bad things when they're addicts, right? But it doesn't mean it hurts any less. So the only thing worse than having him die knowing that he did that bad thing would have been knowing that he did that bad thing and 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 that bad thing. You see what I'm saying? Now he's at rest. And now I found a lot of different ways to start communicating with him and know that he's healing on that side. That's stories for another day. Some of you have heard the purple car story, some of you haven't. But that's how you deal with that situation. All right, you guys, that's it for today. It's 3:30. I got to go. I got another reading coming up here. But see, these, I can do these all day. I can get up here and talk all day long, every day. This doesn't exhaust me. It fills me. It fills me with love and purpose and joy. So if this was helpful for you, if you guys like this new way of doing it, please let me know. And I'm going to keep doing these, and we're going to keep getting up here and doing more questions and ask the question from Spirit. Thank you guys so much for this. I will see you guys again soon. Like I said, this doesn't take as much energy out of me here, so I can do this more often now. You guys have a great, wonderful rest of your week, and I might see you in a couple of days. Take care, guys. Oh, wait. No. Haha, I almost just ended the page. We don't want to do that. Let me end the live. Okay, bye, guys.